Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. So, I wanted to speak about a few signs that you have suppressed emotions within you um, on the twin flame journey, and those need to be let out, they need to be dealt with, and all of that. So, when you come on the journey, everyone has suppressed emotions, first of all, but especially if these things are happening with you, these signs are resonating with you, then it means that that is the area where you can definitely hold awareness and just see what is it within you. Twin flames by themselves are in perfect harmony with each other, but what is it within your ego which creates all this conflict, it creates separation, and all of that. So, we will just look at it from the standpoint of suppressed emotions, and I will share a few signs with you that can help you to understand more about your journey and navigate your journey. Okay, so the first thing is that if you are seeing bad realities manifesting in your life, you see that the same situations are persisting, maybe with your family, your job, you see that okay, the same thing keeps happening over and over and over. A cyclical aspect you're noticing in things, that things don't change, I have the same triggers, I have the same experiences. Or sometimes you step out of the house, or within your own house there is conflict, or there is something there that is not in a higher alignment with what you would have desired it to be. So such experiences, when they happen and you can't figure out why is this happening to me, then there can be suppressed emotions inside that are enabling these realities to get manifested, are actually directly contributing to these realities manifesting in your life. A second thing is that you feel very triggered by your twin flame. Whenever your twin triggers you, they always trigger something suppressed inside of you. And in fact, even people triggering you, even people doing things or saying things which don't feel good to you, are an indication of something suppressed inside that needs to be looked into, that needs to be dealt with. All right. A third thing is that you cannot meditate for long periods of time. Like, either you cannot meditate at all, you find it very difficult to sit with your eyes closed and your mind keeps jumping here and there. That can also mean that suppressed emotions are responsible for it, because your natural state is that of awareness and meditation. And sometimes it can mean that you can sit, but then after some time you can't sit, which means that now what is coming up, what is specifically causing that energy imbalance to happen, has to be looked at. And often it is going to be something suppressed inside that is not allowing you to experience life the way it is, in a meditative state. So, meditation becomes very difficult. It keeps bringing your attention back to an emotion or a thought, then specifically, something suppressed wants to come out. A fourth sign is going to be that you operate in life more from your egoic consciousness. Ego always acts as a gatekeeper of pain, and the instrument of gatekeeping is fear for the ego, that I am afraid of the pain. So then you operate, in life from your mind, that you're more of a mental intellectual being, like operating from the mental structure that you carry, like thinking about things logically all the time, or overriding your intuition, and continuing to do things based on the same patterns and the same learned behavior, or some logical explanation, or intellectualizing your journey too much, staying away from this aspect of feeling your emotions fully. So then that naturally makes the ego in charge in your day-to-day life, when you find it very difficult to be vulnerable because there is pain inside. So you can't be honest with yourself. Maybe you give yourself a lot of morality, a lot of teachings of to be a good person and all that. That also means that it's ego only. Ego also has another instrument of morality, so your soul has no such morally correct or morally wrong notions. morality is antithetical to spirituality. You must always remember that to be spiritual doesn't mean to have an idea about spirituality, an idea about goodness or what is bad, what is wrong. That is all the domain of duality and the domain of the mind. So if you operate too much from your intellect and you find it very difficult to fully connect with your emotional self, it's unsafe, then the ego is acting as a gatekeeper and is still in charge. So that means there may be a lot of buried pain inside that caused the ego to assume this very hard and difficult and rigid kind of a role. The more rigid somebody is in their viewpoints, in fact, or the rigid about what they think about other people, rigid in their judgments of this is good and that's bad, and they judge everything, then it can also sometimes indicate that rigidity has also come from past pain which hasn't been felt. So that is why that need for rigidity has happened, or very extremely painful experiences have caused this to be formed, this hard shell to be formed. All right. Now, a fifth sign is not a very positive sign. It can be a little triggering, but I have to share it, that if you have entity experiences, you experience such things in your day-to-day reality in whatever way or form you do. We'll not go into that as to how you experience entity experiences, but if you are experiencing it, you somewhere know it. Then also, largely the experience, what are those entities really attaching themselves to can be suppressed emotions. So if there is buried pain, there is powerlessness, there is helplessness that you felt maybe because of suppressed abuse experiences as a child. Very often, whatever you go through in the first 7-8 years, the most painful things you go through, you will suppress that because it is very difficult and painful for the child to handle it, right? But the child will be acting from that space. It's not that those emotions and experiences, they die along with time or anything like that. They remain and they keep influencing you in subtle areas of your life. So they'll show up as an imposter syndrome, or as guilt, or as not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, not feeling deserving, not feeling open, and all of that. So all of that is basically indicative of suppressed emotions if you are experiencing entities, or sometimes if you're not experiencing necessarily entities, but in your normal 3D reality, negative experiences to the extent where you feel like how you would feel with an entity attack, like you feel like your personal space is not respected, especially if you're a woman. You can feel this sometimes, especially in traditional spaces and cultures, and actually around the world it can feel like that your boundaries are not respected, or you have negative experiences of maybe with other men, with men harassing you, or low vibrational energies in the form of sometimes masculine energies can seem like they are can create these harassing situations for you. Maybe you're stalked, or you're followed, or something of the sort. Is also very often, it is you are the creator of your reality. Whenever we are speaking here, we're not interested in blaming anybody. If you've been listening to my channel, then you know that we're not interested in doing divine masculine shaming or calling the masculine bad, or we're not interested in blaming anyone else. Everything is about you coming into your power. This was also my message, on New Year's Eve, that I had written on the community post that you can go and read if you haven't. But the idea is always that you are powerful, you're the manifestor of your reality, you're the creator of your reality. So what within is creating such a reality which is so difficult to deal with and so painful and so atrocious, right? So it needs a lot of honesty. And if the ego is very big, then sometimes we don't want to listen to this, and we want to be in the cycles of victim consciousness and all of that. So suppressed emotions are going to be your key here to look at why such experiences are manifesting in your reality. They become the experiences through which you learn, rather than the experiences through which you allow yourself to get bogged down. Okay, remember that you have that strength to always learn from these negative experiences. Now, a sixth sign is going to be that you feel a resistance to the divine, or a resistance to your divine masculine. Many times, divine feminines themselves carry resistance to their divine counterparts in terms of receiving them, in terms of not being able to accept them the way they are, or something to do with the way the energy comes in. It can be that. So there is a very clear indicative aspect of suppressed emotions inside, and which play out in this manner. And with regards to the surrender to the divine, your connection with the divine can also very often be, it can feel tainted with your experiences with other authority figures. You may think connecting with God is like, unconsciously you may be connecting with the divine, as based on your religious training of thinking that God punishes and God does this and God is not this benevolent being, or it can have all of that, or it can also be the authority figures of your life, and you look at the divine in a very similar way as somebody who is judging you in a judgmental aspect. So there is no judgment as far as the divine goes. God is not operating through the duality consciousness of good and bad. So if you have a very difficult time connecting with the divine, you have a very difficult time receiving your masculine energy, then also there are suppressed emotions present inside that you can work with, you can understand, you can go very deep into. You can work one-on-one with me here if you feel that you feel called to do this. We can explore this together. There are multiple methodologies that work here that are very individual to you, that can be tried out, that you can learn, and that you can start understanding how to not be governed by your emotions. Emotions should not have the better of us as human beings, because we are not our emotions. We are separate, consciousness within, which is much, much higher, much, much more than just emotions or just thoughts or just, this limited way of being. When we come on the spiritual awakening path as a twin flame, we always have to look at the macro picture of who you are as a being. Sometimes the fixation can be so much on the 3D aspect of the journey, or the 3D not happening in a certain way or not going in accordance with your desires, that you lose the macro picture of what is it to be spiritual, what is a spiritual awakening. When actually the truth is, if you take care of the macro picture, everything else will start falling into place the way it is meant to. If you always keep your horizons large, then you have space, you have a large space for experiences to happen the way they need to happen, and you're not constantly judging everything or resisting everything, or unnecessarily prolonging the pain and causing the pain to become suffering and all of that. Okay, so you can take charge of your reality, of your life, in fact, if you just become conscious of your suppressed emotions, rather than unconsciously allowing the suppressed emotions to decide everything about your life, about your day, about how you spend your time, what work you do, how you are with people, how painful the journey has become for you. It's just a smart way. If you want to, if you feel called to. Not everyone is able to, and not everyone is ready, and everyone has their own specific processes and their specific timelines and their own ascension paths and their own timelines. So with all due respect to that, there's no need to force yourself, but if you feel called to, suppressed emotions are great place to work with and to look into. All right. If you wish to work one-on-one with me, you can click on the first link in the description, see the types of sessions that I offer, and then email me to book a session at a mutually convenient date and time. I like to schedule the calls on email rather than the conventional way. You can through the web link, and if it suits us, we can proceed, or we decide the time on email. And you can also subscribe to my Patreon page, where I post regularly. You get access to about 6 videos a month, and all videos that have been posted so far. If you subscribe to tier 2 level, at tier 1 level you get access to all videos posted so far at tier 1 level, and 4 videos every month. And the videos go much deeper. There are lots of how-to videos, lots of deeper explanations, lots of other stuff. It's almost like doing a mini course if you subscribe to tier 2. And if you feel called to do that, click on the second link and you can subscribe to Patreon. I'm sending you love. Have a beautiful day.